Greetings from the Garden of Eden. I've been wanting to do a little episode for a while now, which I've been thinking of calling Daily Harvest. And we've got a super big catering event tomorrow. And so I'm out in the garden harvesting anyways, and I figured now would be a perfect time. So hello from the Garden of Eden. You can hear the bugs and the birds. Here you can see our big boy Atlas. Hey Atlas! Yeah, there he is. We got lots of life here, including tons of food. We've got so many different edibles here, and we do a lot of wildcrafting, which I'm super into, even more so than conventional, farming or growing of food. And that's a, whole subject in and of itself. But there's a lot to talk about and a lot going on here, and it's something that I'm doing on a daily basis anyways. So I'm going out to harvest some of these like little golden tomatoes. I'm not even sure the exact variety that they are. They're kind of a hybrid that have been cultivating themselves here for a while now, but we like to call them garden candy. And you can see one of the bushes right here. It's got lots of these little tiny golden tomatoes. Super sweet and super nutritious. Got my little basket here for them. And we've got all sorts of these all over the property. They just grow pretty wild here now, actually. We do need to water them in the hot times, but they take care of themselves really well. Super self-sustaining. As far as tomatoes go, especially. Now, most tomatoes, especially in a super hot climate like we are here, normally they don't produce, past mid-July. So normally right around now, people's tomato bushes stop producing, and that's because it's so hot. The tomatoes start cracking, and it's just too hot for them to produce because they're pretty fragile. But these ones produce really well all throughout the summer. Also, we do a lot of shade cropping. We're much more into like permaculture and wildcrafting, like I said. So as you can see around me, this is not some sort of like flat barren farm. We've got all sorts of sunflowers and shade bushes and things like that. So our property is way cooler. Property's way cooler than all the places around us. We're by far the most lush and rich environment on all of Dallas-Fort Worth. No comparison even. So that helps a lot. So one of the things that I really love about growing my own food is that it's way healthier than any food you can buy. Number one, organic food, certified organic food is really kind of a scam. It's really just a way to charge people more money. It is possible that some of it's better than conventional, but for the most part, it's, there's over 300 different chemicals that are allowed to be used in organic farming, and the practices are not really more sustainable. The chemicals are not necessarily, healthier. I mean, basically everything's organic. I mean, petroleum is organic, but you don't want to go drinking a gallon of diesel fuel. So just because it's organic, just because it's, comes from the earth, doesn't mean that it's good for you or healthy. So that's one thing I like to point out. So we've got super rich soil, which allows the, food to be super rich in nutrients, because without rich soil, you can't get good nutrients. And most crops are just, super fertilized, and it's kind of like steroids. So they pump these crops full, of all these fertilizers, or steroids, as I like to call them. And they grow, but they're kind of void of nutrition. So that's not a problem for us, because we've got super rich soil. Number two, though, is that the freshness. See, I can pick these when they're just like bursting. Like, these are just bursting right now. They're at the maximum ripeness, the maximum ready point, right? Most produce that's picked and sold at a store, they have to pick it super early. They have to pick it early because they have to pick it, they got to process it, they got to box it and package it, they got to ship it, and then it's got to sit on a shelf, right? So they're picking these crops super early, And then the result of that is that you also don't get as nutritious or as delicious as a crop. And then on top of that, there is no healthier way to eat food than coming directly out to the garden or out into the wilderness or the wild, whether you're doing harvesting, in the wild or whatnot. And picking the food fresh and eating it immediately. It also brings this real sort of deep connection with the earth and with the land, not just the super fresh vital nutrients. So that's another thing that I really love. Of course, the time savings. I mean, it saves so much time to be able to just walk out and pick my food versus having to get in a car and sit in traffic and go to a restaurant or even fast food and sit in the line and, pay my bill and, come. It's obviously saves me a lot of money. I haven't actually paid for food, and this is something I'm really proud about. Super rare achievement. I haven't paid for food in probably about 17 years. Not even a bottle of water at a gas station. So I'm really proud of that, and I do that not just to save money, not just for my health, but really for the environment, for the earth as a whole, because I'm so aware that anything from a store, even if it's organic, is super unsustainable. Anything that's packaged, anything that's shipped, it's just there's no way it can ever be sustainable. So these are all things that come into factors, and this is one of the reasons why I built the Garden of Eden. This is one of the reasons why I live the way that I do, because I'm totally committed to my values, to my ideals, and I'm not willing to compromise those values or those ideals, even for hunger. I used to live out in the woods with nothing but a knife. I've lived homeless on the streets, and I'm just unwilling to compromise. And so that's sort of driven me to achieve and to build this, because it's not easy. When I first got here to the Garden of Eden, what is now the Garden of Eden, this land was barren. It was dead. There was nothing here, no good soil, no crops, no nothing. And now it's the richest environment in the whole Metroplex. And not only that, but I did that with all, trash resources. I've saved millions, literally millions of pounds of trash from the landfill over the course of these years. About 350,000 pounds plus per year of trash from the landfill, and I've built all of this with that. So anyways, I'm out here right now doing my little daily harvest, and I guess this is my first video or my first episode on this daily harvest, and I've got all sorts of different crops and wildcrafted medicinals and things like that I'd really like to be able to share and do a post about how to cultivate them and what their benefits are and all that kind of a stuff. So this video is already running pretty long. For most people, attention spans these days are not what they used to be, and I know anybody on Steemit has got more articles to read than they have time for. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. Just wanted to say hi, give you a little view of the garden, and I'll do a little post here with this video, and also some written information about this particular crop. And then day by day I will come out into this garden, and I'll harvest a crop, and I'll do a whole post sort of on that crop or that medicinal or whatever that is. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope you enjoy your night. Hope you're inspired to live healthy and to live sustainable. As always, I appreciate your feedback, and of course I appreciate your support. Steam on.